cannot believe it is already September and I am doing a bloom update for the month of August. So summer's over here and it's been a summer. It's been a summer. I have not flushed my orchids very much this summer, just once. I will admit that. I got to catch up on my chores. This was the summer of spider mites. So I had spider mite attacks on some of my cattleyas. I had to treat them. Um, my catasetums got a late start because I kind of neglected them last year, so they were a little weak to begin with. So I have catasetums that are starting to push out their growths now. But I do have some nice blooms to show you for the month of August. I'm gonna also show you guys my summer blooming phals. They've started fading, but I have my fall Phalaenopsis orchids. They're starting to get going. So like my Phalaenopsis amboinensis, you guys are gonna start seeing that in September. My LD's Bear King, that's starting to bloom. Those are fall bloomers. But my summer blooming phals are starting to fade a little bit. They've been blooming kind of all summer. My Bellinas are, my oldest Bellina does have a bud on it, which is nice, but it's not open yet. So you'll see that next month. But right now I have some Cattleyas that are blooming. I have a new Paph that started blooming, which was nice to see. And I'm just seeing buds all over on Dendrobiums, on Cattleyas. I tend to get a lot of blooms in the fall. So next month you're gonna see a lot more. I was kind of happy to see one of my Neophenicias bloom. I haven't had a Neophenecia bloom in a really long time. I love these because they're so little. They smell really good. They smell like an expensive perfume. Like I wish I could bottle the fragrance of a Neophenecia falcata. They bloom at night. They're just beautiful. They're perfect. This was gifted to me. This is a hybrid. Right here is the name. So I've had it in my care for about a year and a half. So it was nice to see it bloom. Just two little blooms right here. Mother Neophenicias haven't really been doing anything. I still have to get a lot of repotting done. I've been pretty lazy with my plant chores, but I got to get back on it. I've just been busy with other things, but I'm happy to report that I've been on top of the watering, so my plants aren't dying from neglect any longer. So I think they'll be fine. I just got to get through repots before it starts getting cold, and all will be good. Let's jump into the blooms for the month of August. First orchid in bloom is an unregistered hybrid of the Cattleya Floralia Azul, Dona Rosina, crossed with the Cattleya Pumila, the Coerula version. This is the very first time that this orchid blooms for me, and it pushed out a really nice flower. I don't have that many Coerula orchids, but the one that I do have, I think it's the mini blue purple. That one opens up very wonky, so it was nice to see that this one had a nice, decent looking flower for the first time that it blooms. I've had this for 3 years, so I was getting a little impatient to see it bloom. It was a small Cattleya when I got it. It will not get much bigger than this, and I've already divided it. It grows vegetatively really well, but I hope with this bloom, it just starts blooming a lot more. You'll see a little bit of damage on the petals there, and that's because of thrips. So I had to treat my collection. I just sprayed it down, and it happened to take care of everything, but so far, so good on this one. The next one, you guys have seen this before. This one's the Phalaenopsis Tetraspis. This is the C1 cross with Mr. Huang. A lot of folks have told me that their Tetraspis is not fragrant, and this one is. I can't even describe the fragrance that well. It smells a little plasticky, but not like the amboinensis. Like it's like a pleasant fragrance, but it's kind of light. But this one's pretty cool. It's not too big for now. We know that summer blooming phals tend to get bigger, but we'll see about this one. But this one's really cool. The markings this time around are very light, probably because it's so hot, and it's starting to grow its leaves down to the side. Now, I repotted this at the end of spring, so it's all set, but we'll see how it goes as this orchid gets bigger. But so far, I really like it, and I like the spots. They're different for every flower. Next, we have the Proctivola Key Lime Stars. This one is always in bloom, and it gave me a bunch of spikes this time, a bunch of flowers, Right now, I think this one was 5 flowers. We have 3 open and 2 other buds. And I wish the fragrance was stronger though. It smells like sunscreen. Like, when you go to the beach and you just open up your sunscreen, that's what it smells like. This is extremely vigorous. I don't know how I'm going to go about repotting it because the roots are really tight in there. But every single growth that this pushes out, it pushes out buds. So if you guys are looking for an orchid that's very easy to grow, very rewarding, very vigorous, highly recommend this. Anything with like Brassavola nodosa tends to be quite vigorous generally, but this is a cool one, especially if you like the flower shape, but this is very reliable. Next, we have another very reliable bloomer, and this is my unregistered hybrid of the Richard Mueller with the Cattleya triumphans. I recorded this about a week after it opened up. Well, a week after this bloom opened up. So this opens up kind of like a peachy pink and then fades to a lighter yellow. And I got 2 sets of blooms this time. And I'm going to show you the bloom that was open already for about 3 weeks at this point, and it turns into a very light yellow. So I love this one. It's got a beautiful fragrance as well. It smells like a standard Cattleya, but what I love about it, which is common with the other Richard Mueller hybrids, is that red spotted lip. It is gorgeous. I love how it opens from this peachy, blushy color to this yellow, so it changes over time. This is my largest Richard Mueller hybrid, so it's quite tall on my shelves, but it's gorgeous. Definitely a keeper. Next, we have the Paphiopedilum Armeni White, and unfortunately, I was away for about a week. So when I saw it, it was really hot in my grow room and the bloom was a little battered. So it's not perfect, but it's the first time that this blooms for me. I found the flower gorgeous. I don't have that many Paphs, but when they bloom, I just adore them. I have the Paphiopedilum Pinocchio. I have this one. I have another one. I don't have that many though, but when they do bloom, I do enjoy them. I hope this one blooms again. This one is not a sequential bloomer like the Pinocchio, but next time I hope to catch it in its full glory. It was just too hot while I was away, and yeah. So I was really, really, really excited about this one. This is a Richard Mueller hybrid with the Cattleya Labiata. I got this from Michael McCarthy and I loved it. So I repotted this with you guys when I received it, and I basically just up-potted it into a bark and sphagnum moss mix into a 6-inch plastic pot. It had a new growth when I got it at the beginning of summer, and look at it go. Michael predicted that this would bloom in August, and it did. And he said last time it had 5 blooms, and it didn't skip a beat. It gave me 3 blooms right away. And it came from humid Florida up to New York, and it's just gorgeous. Now, this has been in bloom for about 2 weeks now. It opens up this like beautiful pink, and now it's turned white, and it's got that spotted lip. It's pink instead of red. I love Richard Mueller hybrids. This is also fragrant, which is nice. I also wanted to show you guys my summer blooming Phal. So there's Mr. Huang. It faded kind of quickly because it was so hot. So unfortunately, that was quite short-lived. This is my sweet memory. The flower's spent already. It kind of ended there. And then my other Tetraspis C1 also faded. So that's all done. In the back, we have my Phalaenopsis amboinensis, which is pushing out buds, and that tends to bloom in the fall. And my LD Bear's King is also got spikes and buds. And for the most part, my summer blooming Phals are just like sleeping because they've already bloomed and it's the end of summer. But we have this one. I think this one's Cattleya, not Cattleya, Phalaenopsis Norman's World. That one has a few blooms left, but it's finishing up. And this one is LD Bear's Queen, which actually has buds coming in. So we have a mixture of some summer bloomers that are done and some that just tend to open up in the fall. So I'm happy that I'll have some new blooms coming in soon. When I look at the others, this one's my original Phalaenopsis Bellina that I repotted recently, and it's got a bud coming in. So I can't wait to see it. It hasn't bloomed for me yet, and it was set back because of the repot. Here we have the Phalaenopsis Apricot Glow. This one hasn't bloomed in a while. It was like struggling a little bit, but now it's bouncing back and it's got a spike coming in. And then we have some other regular phals. Here we have the Phalaenopsis equestris Coerula in the back that's going to bloom, and the Phalaenopsis Coerula, the Bellina. So that's coming in. I also want to show you my Hoya Bella. I didn't make a video on this, but this one finally bloomed for me for the first time. I took it out of Leca, which it was just drinking up its water reservoir too fast, and I moved it into a moisture retentive mix, put it in my windowsill, and finally it's blooming and it's pushing out peduncles left and right, and it's finally not blasting. So I was really happy to see this, and I wanted to show you guys. So this is the last bloom for the month. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you liked it, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more orchid content. I will see you in the next video. Bye everyone.